it's actually public, so it should go through. And it's going to... The thumbnail is so cute. I was trying to obviously get the thumbnail, and I don't know what it is, like, what causes Queen to, like... Oh shit, got a lot of notifications. Oh. Nice. I guess Blue Sky promotion does work. Anyways, I don't know if she can, like, sense... I don't know if I was feeling stressed or more just like, oh, I just want to get this right. But, like, anytime I'm, like, taking a video or, like, something, I'm about to go live or whatever, like, she, like, asks for attention right then. It's really funny. And Peter, I put on my Instagram story, like, a picture of Peter, and his eyes, like, perfectly match the pillowcase. Like, he's just so cute. I love Siamese cats so much. They're really, really sweet. I have not caught up on Blue Sky in a minute. These are all new notifications. But yeah. When was my last stream on here? When was that? That was... Go to analytics. Maybe it'll tell me there. July 28th? Almost a month ago. Yeah, okay. I've had an interesting last couple of months, and I don't want to talk about it, but yeah. Also, I literally just made coffee, got myself some fruit, and just went, I'm gonna go live while I edit. I don't know what they're doing. Let's go. Alright. I kind of want to keep watching the... Is her name Mackenzie? The crazy fucking girl who crashed the car with her boyfriend. I kind of want to watch more of that. I don't know though. Shit in the way. This room was like, I know it looks basically the same, but this is what it looks like somewhat reset after I like swept most of it. I basically like swept the room like if it were cut diagonally, so I still need to like get along the baseboards and stuff around here and figure out what I'm doing with this fucking corner. I guess I should put the beanbag in the corner there, because this just keeps fucking getting in the way. I don't know. Might as well set this up. No. Stop it. Bitch. I literally have the pop-out chat. It's right here. There. So stupid. I feel like I had so many updates to give though. What was it? I'm just really excited to get the room where I want it to be. This fucking set of, it's a... Oh my god. A set of, like, metal shelves. Like, not a bookcase, but, like... So, I'm gonna use that as storage for the closet here to keep all my stuff in. I'm thinking I'll use one of the shelves to put, like, the wigs on. I've got, like, 2-3 wigs so far, although, oh my god, okay, so now I have shit to talk about. I got my pre-ordered Moe flavor Jirai bunny. Let me like get a picture. No, not, stop it. Fuck you, Google Shopping. No one uses you. Ugh. That's a good picture. And it's horrible quality. Fine, we'll do this one. That's actually not bad. Do that, and then... this outfit, and where was I going with that? Oh, I want to get like a long black wig and potentially with some pink highlights, or I don't know what it's specifically called, where like the lower layers are dyed. Like I'm thinking like black or brown with like a pink layer. I think that would look so cute. That would be, it's gonna be so much fun, and I've got the perfect shoes for it. Like, it's even got these little, my boyfriend thought they were bells at first, but they're just like little metal charms. And I got the tights with them too. Oh my god. So cute. I cannot wait. But yeah. That's gonna be so much fun. And like summer is like just about over, and I have like a summer cosplay that I'm just like, fuck it, I might as well do it now, like while I think summer ends in September, right? So I think I'm still good. Whatever, it's fine. Can't let, I already bought all the shit for the cosplay, I might as well like, and then I can just like repost it or whatever like next summer and it'll be fine. But yeah. Anyways. I finally got like a custom order finished. Like, I was already having a bad time, and then some really bad news came up a few days ago, and I hadn't even started editing yet, because I was like, yeah, it'll just take a day to like edit, and then like I was basically away from my computer for 2 whole days. So yeah. Something I want to start doing on here though is playing Project Zomboid and eventually learn how to set up mods. That's gonna be nice. Like, I want to like use YouTube as like my time to like study Project Zomboid. I think that would be fun. Like, I already started making a document of like, because the way Project Zomboid works is you set an occupation that you had before the zombie apocalypse, which gives you perks, and then you are given a certain amount of points to spend for positive traits, which will take away points, and then negative traits, which will give you more points to add more positive traits. So I was like, oh, like with this occupation, or some of them aren't specific, but yeah, I was starting to have fun with that. And I'm gonna do some more GLEP content, because like, while I did get, oh god, I still have like shit that I'm like, I don't know where some of the files are, so I don't know how to get those. I still have some content that I think I still didn't upload. But yeah, I want to make more stuff, like more TikToks. That's another thing. I'm gonna make a new TikTok and just re-upload stuff and start from there. Many such cases when you upload the kind of content that I upload. Social media just loves to be shitty to you. Anyways, though. Also, speaking of like the bad shit that's been going on, anytime something like difficult mentally is going on, I always restart The Sopranos from the beginning, and I just use that as background noise to keep myself from going insane. And I still have the same reactions that I do as I did the first few times. Like, I can't get out of my head. Like, there will be like lines that are just like vocal stems for me, like, oh my god, who is that? Hello, Booba. Hello. You're in here now. Oh my god. Do you want to come up here? My desk is kind of a mess right now, but okay. I was like, oh shit, is that a shipping label? No, it's not. Show off for the camera what you're doing. She's so silly. Don't mind the dirty laundry. At least it's not on the floor. Anyways. Oh, but what was it? Oh my god. I'm trying to remember what the line is that like Meadow says. Do you think going skiing in Aspen is gonna happen every year? It doesn't. Not like lame tea and scones at the Plaza Hotel, Mom, or whatever the fuck. I wish I could get it right, because it's like it's so like melodic the way she says it. I love Meadow so much. What was it? I saw something that her actress was in semi recently, like a commercial or something, and I was like, that's Meadow. She's so gorgeous. Like, that beautiful skin tone, and like, she's just like so pretty. Also, during my time offline, I watched They Will Kill You. It's a new horror movie. Oh my god, it's so good. It brought me back to like when my dad showed me the first two Kill Bill movies when I was a kid. It's like, it's just like cheesy. It kind of reminds me of like Wet, the video game too, where it's just like stupid ass action logic that doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Like, the fight scenes, it's fucking amazing. So good. They Will Kill You, like, let's see, 2026. That's tough, because like Backrooms was really good. What's also stuff that came out this year? I still haven't watched Obsession. I haven't even watched it, and I'm already fatigued. Like, oh my god, it's just, I'm sure it's a great movie. I'm sure it is. It's just, when people say it's a litmus test for your views on consent and all kinds of shit, like, it really is. What else has come out this year? Yes, 20926. We're in the future. I misspelled that. Spider-Man, Toy Story. My dad sent me a picture when he was on the flight, like showing like the map of where he was. It showed like a little like player for like how far you're in the movie. So like, are you gonna finish the movie before the flight, which is really helpful. But I saw the little like red shoe, and I was like, oh my god, he's watching Devil's Wear Prada too. That's so cute. Like, oh man. My mom would have loved Devil Wears Prada too. But, like, what are all these movies? I haven't heard of any of these. We got Iron Lung. Huntsman, Teacher's Pet. What is this? I know I've watched some other... Oh, I watched the new Scary Movie. It was not bad. It was pretty good. It was just like kind of a bunch of bits and not really much of a story. Like, what they had for like the characters' progression and stuff like that was fun. I liked the joke right off the bat about like what was it? She like took hormones or something, so her clit was really big. I don't remember like how it worked, but basically she had like a boner, like a girl boner, and I thought that was really funny. Also, to just, if you've watched the new Scary Movie, like following up a squirting joke with K-pop demon hunters was just so, it was so surreal. And you know what, that's kind of like what I want from a Scary movie. So Super Mario Galaxy, don't give a fuck. What else came out? I don't know any of these. Maybe I just didn't watch a lot of stuff that came out. There's a scary movie. I still need to watch Sinners. I still have not watched Sinners, which is crazy. I also haven't watched Talk to Me either. Oh my god, Camp Rock 3 came out. That was so funny. Like, talking about that with, that's another thing. I pulled some shit in my back in May. Like, nothing serious. It was just like, I have horrible posture, and I was stressed out and trying to up weights while working out. Like, I was doing too much, so I fucking pulled something, and I like was basically in bed for a few days. Like, I couldn't do very much, but so like I've had to like switch to cardio for workouts instead of like, because I'm scared I'm gonna fuck something up with weights, but I need to get back on it soon. I got some ankle weights and I want to get back into like donkey kicks and shit like that, so that way I can like make my ass look good. The new Resident Evil looks so good. Oh my god. I remember seeing like the initial trailer for it in the previews for the Backrooms, and then like the more explain the story trailer, not the teaser, came out, and it's just like, oh, I'm not even like a fan of the Resident Evil games. Like, I just don't play them, but I really like the premise for it. It looks really fucking good. I'm so excited. And then what's coming out? Other Mommy by Blumhouse. Okay. That could be good or bad. Oh yeah, the Street Fighter movie's coming out. That is also... I want to watch the trailer for this. Because wait. Saying there was already a movie that came out in 2020 called Breeder, but now I'm seeing on upcoming movies. Directed by Alex Goyette. Okay, it was at Tribeca. Okay, that looks right. Stop! Okay, it's literally 10 seconds. Really? That's the trailer we're getting? Okay, whatever. Movie called Breeder is coming out. The premise is an eccentric poodle breeder lures a broke college student to a remote ranch with a promise of research funding, but as he soon learns there's a catch. Kinda reminds me of the premise. Really? Why did my headphones have been freaking the fuck out recently? But it kind of reminds me of the premise of Good Boy, not the one that actually takes place from the perspective of a dog, but it's a girl finds a guy on Tinder and he keeps a guy in a dog costume. Like, oh, it's a BDSM relationship, it's no big deal. And then, like, her friend's like, well, he's got a lot of money, so just, like, fucking take his money and run, or whatever. And, you know. But yeah. Anyways. I'm going to finish my food and watch this interesting new Matt Bernstein about Jules LeBron, the timid and demure or whatever the fuck. Oh my god, stop with the fucking spoilers. Oh my god, leave me alone. I just brain farted. I'm gonna continue to watch the Mackenzie Shirella, I think is her name, that thing, and get some editing done on my phone as well as on here. Trying to think if I should have it on the speakers through my phone or through my computer, so that way if I need to edit videos, I don't know. I'll start with the photos, that way I won't need to use audio for anything, so I'll just use desktop audio through my headphones. We are like halfway through this shit. I'm gonna go back a little bit.
Saying and why they've been saying certain.
Meteor.
Things. After extensively researching, I can try to group up the 3 major groups of people and how they feel about this case. The first group of people, they obviously believe that whatever happened that night in the car, they believe it was an accident. Now, this is like the smallest of the people from what I could see anecdotally, just like surfing on Reddit, but I'm not a freaking AI data analyst, okay? I don't know. But it just seems like a smaller group of people that believe that it must have been an accident. Because it doesn't make sense, you know? They think that maybe Mackenzie suffered a medical emergency, passed out on the wheel, causing this accident. Or maybe it's like a car malfunction, and even though the police ruled it out, you never know. The larger masses, however, believe it was planned. Now, to what degree is up for debate.
So the
second group of people believe that Mackenzie planned this crash days in advance, that she was going to crash the car with Dom in it, and Davion just happened to be in the car, and she has no regard for anybody's life but her own. A few days before she turned 18, like that, people are saying is intentional. She allegedly, they claim, scoped out the crash site. Now, there is evidence that she was on that road previously, but people have interpreted that differently. Some people are saying, like, this was a known cut-through. Other people are saying, like, no, she was scoping out the crash site. So take it as you will. But they believe that she drove down the same road multiple times beforehand. She planned it to the T because she knew Dom was going to break up with her soon. And Davion just happened to be in the car. Now, the third group of people
Do they believe Mackenzie is planning to be alive after the crash, or?
I think there's subgroups of people. Some people think that she might not have had that foresight. Some people think like she probably does, because if evidenced by her social media of posting her driving and smoking, there are certain teenagers who live very reckless lifestyles and who believe that they are almost like physically invincible. Other people believe that she just like is such an emotionally volatile, evil person that she doesn't even care about her own safety.
Interesting.
But there's lots of nuanced debates that we're going to get into later, because her head was found under the dash. So some people are saying, oh, that's like evidence that she could have fainted before the crash. Some people are saying like that could have happened just because the airbags are deploying. Other people are saying she intentionally did it so that her face wouldn't get busted from the airbags, and she's a narcissist. So it's all just, everyone has their own opinion about it. The third group of people, they don't necessarily think that Mackenzie has been planning this days in advance, but they do think that there was intent. They do think that this is murder, because whatever happened in the car, most likely they believe is an argument that broke out between Mackenzie and Dom. And still, Mackenzie has no regard for Dom or especially Davion's life, because he's just in the back seat. She crashes the car in rage, and that is still intentional murder. So these are like the three main groups that I've seen. Obviously, the legal outcome of this case supports the second and third theory that this was intentional murder, which there is intent behind the crash, which is why a lot of people have taken to trying to analyze Mackenzie and Dom's relationship, as it all feels highly relevant. Whatever happened in the car, most people believe it's either because Mackenzie didn't want Dom to break up with her soon, or because she got enraged during a fight in the car and was ready to kill him for it. One friend says, Dom provided everything for Mackenzie.
Right then.
Mackenzie didn't work a job. Mackenzie would live with Dom. Dom would provide for her, like, with everything. Dom would buy her groceries. Dom would buy her clothes. Anything that Mackenzie needed, Dom gets it for her. So they had this relationship where it's like they were just ready to move on and marry. So they felt like, you know, it was very serious, but Dom was like the provider. He would even be expected to provide for Mackenzie's weed consumption. She would make literal demands. There are text messages between the two where she says, maybe if you listened for 1 second, enclosed. By the way, she writes enclosed, like an enclosure, like a cage.
Mm-hmm. Listen enclosed.
Just like
instead of closed, like she's trying to say enclosed your mouth, spelling. But she's saying enclosed, like an enclosure.
Enclose your mouth.
Just listen and close your mouth.
Yeah, but she said enclosed. She's like, maybe if you listen for a second and closed your fucking mouth, you would hear what I was saying, but you just don't fucking stop going. I'm so fucking fed up with this shit. I'm giving you one more chance to give me weed, or there's going to be issues. I'm going to do a whole separate video, part 4 of this series. We're just going to go down pretty much every fight that they've had through text messages, because it is a 31,000 page document with over 90,000 text messages that are highly relevant to this case. So that's going to be in part 4. So like a few episodes later, it's just literally just going to be analyzing the full text document and the journey of their relationship, because there's a lot that happens through 2020, through 2022. There's text messages days leading up to the crash and all of the fights that are happening, because there's a lot of explosive fights, and you can really see Mackenzie's, I don't even want to, it almost feels abusive. Like, you'll see a lot of things in that episode, but that's going to be in part 4.
I don't even know the details, and like, obviously.
Have you ever been checking out online, going through the payment options, and you spot this purple button that says Shop Pay /Rotten? Go to shopify.com/rotten. That's shopify.com/rotten. Text messages from almost exactly a year before the crash, Mackenzie tells Dom, maybe when you can actually formulate a sentence yourself and not just repeat what I said last, I'll take this fucking conversation seriously. To which Dom responds, WTF? See, I don't say anything mean. You just purposely try to say hurtful things. You say that I'm not going on vacation with you. You say you're not going to do anything for me anymore. Like, what? You said you were going to break up with me too. Like, that's all verbally abusive. When you want to fix this on both ends, let me know. Mackenzie responds, I'm allowed to say how I feel, and if you don't like that, then that sucks. Why would I want to go on vacation with someone that won't even give me 1 gram of free weed? So this is literally just her getting mad that he's not giving her weed. He tells her he does give her weed, like free weed all the time, right? He's like, what do you always demand weed from me? I'm giving it to you. Like, what do you... She just responds, too bad, because I don't want your whack-ass weed anymore. I never want it again. He's like, so
Yeah,
we're
of course
done over that? Is there someone else? Like, you
Of course he
literally got
didn't
me
want it.
thinking about quitting weed. And she blames everything on Dom. Now, a lot of people might take this as the truth, but I will say consistently over 30,000 something pages, this is like a pattern of Mackenzie. Anything wrong happens in her life, she blames somebody.
Alright,
So she
put the
says,
link
how are
in
you
the-
going to get me addicted to weed and then not give me weed when I need it? Like, the fuck? So fed up with your shit. I personally don't think that Dom got her addicted to weed. I think that, I mean, they're all teenagers. I think that she
Also,
would have
like, being
discovered
addicted
weed
to weed.
regardless of Dom. I don't even know if
Really?
he's the one that introduced it to her or if they both started at the same time. Like, she just likes to
being
blame
on a
everyone
tolerance
for
break
all of her
sucks,
problems.
but,
To which Dom responds, Kenzie, I try to tell you not to rip bombs
you claim
at
that you're
6 in the
addicted to
morning,
weed, I'm
but
kind
you
of gonna
do
laugh
it
at
every
you.
day. And she responds, that's not the problem, hun. I give you free weed. That doesn't mean you can smoke as much as you want, Kenzie. You smoke like a chimney, and you're being mean as fuck to me right now. Even when he's trying to be level-headed and worried for her health, she's
Feel
just
bad
kind of
for
freaking
laughing.
out on him. She just kind of expects him to do everything for her, even emotionally be there for her no matter what she's feeling. And Mackenzie feels a lot of things seemingly all the freaking time. When Dom is going on a flight to California, he texts
What are you
Mackenzie
doing?
that it's really annoying because he's in the middle seat. Quote, I'm in between two people. I don't know. She responds, WTF? Yeah, right. So he's thinking, oh my gosh, like, she's feeling bad for me. I'm gonna need to know if it's a girl. He reassures her, it probably won't be anyone to worry about. I haven't seen anyone that is attractive at all. Just mostly weird looking people. One person
You
who
shouldn't
knows the
even
couple
have to
says none
justify.
of Dom's exes would even keep in contact with him because they all knew Mackenzie was kind of crazy. She's psycho. A little
Right.
bit.
I wouldn't want
But
to.
it seems like he's just expected to do everything, even pay for her. In text messages, they're discussing a potential trip to New York City. Dom is asking her, can you afford it? Which is like a completely normal question to ask because New York City is one of the most expensive cities in the US to visit, so it's a completely valid question. Mackenzie freaks out. Actually, maybe I don't want to go with you if you're going to be like that. I'm not going on vacation with you, so I'm done talking about this. Why are you literally being crazy right now? To which Dom responds, Kenzie, you're being crazy. She responds, Dom, I'm filling out a fucking job application while you're spamming me. Dom is just so taken aback. He's like, you're trying to make me feel obligated to spend thousands on you. She responds in caps, then don't, question mark. Which, side note about her filling out a job application, Mackenzie was fired from multiple jobs. Those who worked with her said that she was just like a shit employee. For Dunkin' Donuts, she had just gotten her hair done the day, I think, of coming into her shift. So the manager tells her, hey, you know, it's like part of the uniform. You have to wear the Dunkin' hat because everybody wears the Dunkin' hat. And like, you work for Dunkin', so you gotta wear the Dunkin' hat. And she is so offended by this. She's sending like voice notes to her friends and she's like, can you believe that they told me to wear the hat? And I was trying to explain to them, I just got my hair done, so I can't wear the hat. And the manager was telling her, you can't expect us to let you have special privileges and treat you differently from any of the other employees. Like, you have to wear the hat. Mackenzie quits on the spot, leaves a horrible review for the Dunkin' Donuts location. It's very interesting that she genuinely does not comprehend why it's inappropriate for her to be treated differently than other employees. The concept befuddles her.
Yeah.
To her, it's just like,
Insane.
what's the big deal about a hat? Which, like, sure, maybe if it was one time, but she strikes me as the person to have a new reason every single time. Today it's the hat. Tomorrow it's the, oh, I can't help you clean something because I just got my nails done. Like, it's always something.
Like,
One
bitch,
pair.
wearing gloves.
At a fast
Also-
food restaurant,
Yeah.
it's health code. What do
Yeah.
you mean?
So
Personally,
one
I
peer
don't
tells
understand
officers
having
later,
nails
I
of
mean,
that
she
length
worked
that
with my
would
stepsister at Dunkin' Donuts for a little
Sensory
bit.
wise, fuck with
That's
me
all
so
I know.
bad.
And then my stepsister told me that she was a terrible worker. She was just rude to everyone. She just didn't care. She'll post on her Instagram stories a picture of a bag that's for sale, a purse. And then she'll DM Dom, this is a new bag. It's silver. He's confused. He's like, why are you posting it on your Instagram story? Just in case someone wants to buy or send it to me. LOL, okay. Babe, only $400. She also sends him a link to Venus Flowers, the Forever Flowers. And then she sends another link to a pair of boots that are $3,500. It's like $3,400 for a pair of boots. Dom responds, those are so gas. She responds, I want them. He's trying to be reasonable. The price tag on them is crazy, though. Do you think you can walk in them? Mackenzie ignores and DMs him, post a pic of us. On IG? Yes. What picture? You pick. I'll see what I got. She texts him another time. I'm at Nordstrom's. If I see a Skims dress, can I buy it? But like, maybe the relationship is not always all the time one-sided. Maybe Mackenzie does a lot of things for Dom too. In one text message exchange, Mackenzie texts Dom, I'm bringing home sushi and calamari for you. Dom says, bet. Mackenzie responds, I got sushi from this place and they literally gave me the most gross shit ever. To which Dom is confused and he's texting her back, what place? And what sushi are you bringing me? It isn't going to be gross, right?
Yeah.
Mackenzie responds, babe, I don't know what to wear tomorrow. So it feels like she's bringing him gross shit, like the leftovers. Even prom, Mackenzie says that she got a super custom, very expensive dress that Dom paid half of the entire dress.
One time,
he even rented a party bus
family
just
member
for the
gave
two of
us,
them because
like,
everybody hates
we were
Mackenzie at
moving,
school, so
they
she
were
have
like,
no
"Here's
friends to
our
join
old
her party
toaster,"
bus. And
and we
there's
didn't
videos of
open
the
it
two
right
of them in the
away.
party bus alone,
And
and
then
it
we were like,
looks
"Oh,
like
let's
Dom
make-
is doing everything to make sure Mackenzie is having a good time.
I don't know, toast,
He's singing
I
for
guess.
her, he's trying to make her
Like, let's
laugh.
open up the
he's-
toaster.
You know, he's
It
trying
was
to uplift her mood.
covered in like old
Mackenzie says,
egg.
everybody told us we look like movie stars
And,
that
like,
night.
I was like, why didn't you just fucking throw this shit away?
And
Why'd
if
you
Dom
give it
ever
to
hangs
us?
out with the boys without
Like,
Mackenzie,
now we gotta
there's
go
many
get a new
times where she
toaster.
gets so upset
Like-
by that. She'll have these very smart Instagram DMs. Have fun with a dick in your ass. Bro time. Like, if you think I give a single fuck about Blair, so Blair is Dom's best guy friend, okay? There was because Blair keeps coming up, there was this misconception on TikTok that Blair was a girl that Dom was cheating on Mackenzie with. This is not true at all. Like, Blair is a guy, right? And there is no indication that they were having any sort of romantic relationship, right? So just clearing the air on that. But she's saying, if you think I give a single fuck about Blair, you're wrong. It's okay, though. Just deal with your super important bro time. Like, are you actually fucking Blair? Do you want me to pull up to your fucking house right now with a fucking bat? Like, fucking beat Blair's ass? Then he'll really be scared to come around. So be careful with who you choose first. Again, there's no indication whatsoever that Dom and Blair are romantically involved. Even though Mackenzie's overreaction of a message almost seems like something is happening, no. She's just upset because he wants to hang out with his best friend. To which Dom tries to calm Mackenzie down. I'm not choosing him first. Mackenzie, ever so calm, ever the voice of reason, responds, because I will fucking kill him. On God. This is all because he makes plans with Blair, but Mackenzie wanted him to cancel those plans because she suddenly decided she wanted to go out to eat with Dom. So Dom reaches a compromise that he doesn't even need to compromise on, but he offers, if you want to go out to eat, we can go in an hour. It's pretty simple. He's like, I'm not just going to cancel on Blair, but like we can go out to eat in an hour.
Queens in the
Mackenzie
box.
responds, you're literally pathetic. His dick must be big if you like it that much. I'll just go with someone else who actually wants to be around me and cares about my health. Thanks for literally doing nothing. She's saying health because eating,
is
yeah.
health.
But it's like, many of Dom's friends have reported that they
Such a
don't
weird
really
thing to
understand
say.
why Dom put up with Mackenzie. They all thought that he could do way better, with one of Dom's friends reporting to the police. One time we were in this candy shop, and this was after they had gotten over arguing and everything like that. And she was like, either buy me something or shut the fuck up. No one's trying to listen to you. He says Dom would always buy her designer, and she would always post on her TikTok as if she bought the designer, and she would call people out for like being broke. Side note, that seems to check out because in an Instagram DM exchange, Mackenzie is arguing with another person and Mackenzie is telling them, mind your business. And they come back responding. And so this doesn't seem like an internet hater. It seems like someone who knows Mackenzie in real life. And they're responding, I'm just saying it isn't your money if you don't earn it yourself. I'm not trying to start shit. I'm just so confused on how you talk shit on people being broke, but you flex money that isn't yours and you didn't earn. For real, not trying to start shit, so you don't even gotta respond. Sorry, I was just confused and then realized you probably would take it the wrong way, so I deleted it. Sorry, LOL. Like, you can't say you're not broke if it's not your money. That's all I'm trying to get, and everyone agrees with me. Like, ask anyone who is real with you and honest will agree with me. And yeah, you're spoiled, and that's fine. Just don't go around calling other bitches broke when you don't even have your own money yourself. Please be more self-aware. And you say you hate fake friends, but every time I've been with you or hear about you, you're talking shit about someone. It's just not a good look. Mackenzie responds something along the lines of like, yeah, go work your Subway shift. Baby, you work at Subway. You're not even close to being in my league. I need you to stop texting me right now. They stop texting her, so
Oh,
she
great.
hits them back
I'll
with,
stop talking
so
to
that
you."
comment hit close to home for you, huh? And they respond,
Bitch,
what
what do you
comment,
want?
bro? All I'm trying to get at is reality. If you do not earn the money you spend, it's not your money. So don't go around saying you hate broke bitches when in reality, if Dom or your parents left, you would be broke too. You depend on other people for money. And the fact that you say you hate fake friends, but 80% of the stuff that comes out of your mouth is talking shit about someone else. If you don't want fake friends, don't be fake yourself is all I'm trying to get at. Mackenzie never has a moment of self-reflection. Because sometimes, like, you can get into fights, but still have a moment of, like, maybe they're onto something. Maybe I should reflect. But she says, it's okay, babe. I would probably be mad if I was broke, too. And she says, baby girl, I need you to stop texting me. You're actually weirding me out. Like, we aren't friends and haven't been friends since sophomore year. Now stop being worried about my life and go worry about your schedule for Subway next week. She's just, kind of a bitch. I don't really know
Just
how
a
else to
fucking
put it.
brick wall.
After this whole exchange,
Cannot get
it
through
appears
them.
Mackenzie goes to rant to another friend about it because she's DMing her friend about quote unquote the haters, and the friend responds to her trying to comfort her. Ugly girls will never understand. If you're pretty, you're never broke. So what if your boyfriend pays for you? If I was her boyfriend, I wouldn't pay for shit because damn, what the fuck is that? Talking about how the way that person looks. Mackenzie continues literally, and she's trying to like talk shit on me like it's repulsive. Do you know how badly I wanted to say worry about your own weight instead of my pockets, but I didn't want to body shame just in case I'm gonna be famous soon and I can't be canceled. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
insane.
definitely.
Yeah.
Do you know when this
Her
was
like
sent?
back and forth
Like a few months
between
before
like
the crash.
body positivity
did
and
become
body shaming
famous.
is really
Yeah.
funny. Like
Mackenzie is also the type of girl that absolutely hates when people copy her, or even when she thinks people are copying her, and she needs Dom to comfort her for the very big emotions that come with people copying her. She says,
they at
Redacted
Hogwarts?
got the same
They
wheel
look like
cover as me.
they're
Like, you know,
at
the
that
fucking
part of
pink fuzzy
Hogwarts
wheel cover.
at Universal.
Steering wheel cover?
Yeah. Mackenzie texts him, so fucking weird. Like, what the fuck? Question mark, question
Just
mark, question mark.
imagining that against
Dom
my
is like, do you think she knew? She def knew. How did you even find out? Even Chloe told me. I accidentally parked next to her, LMAO. Like, what the fuck? Dom is like, she's probably gonna be terrified. Because, again, that's how terrifying Mackenzie is. Just the fact that she found out that you have the same steering wheel cover,
Yeah.
and she's gonna be terrified that she found out. At some point, I don't know if it's the same girl or another girl, but Mackenzie is telling Dom that she wants to beat her up, to which he tells her not to get in trouble. That's all he says. He's like, maybe not, because you're gonna get in trouble. Don't get in trouble. And she's upset. No, you were actually weird as fuck, and do not talk to me. Dom's trying to explain, I just don't want you to get in trouble. He's like the voice of reason. But Mackenzie isn't having it. She feels like Dom worrying about her getting in trouble is, quote, let's not defend a fucking whore. You're actually weird as fuck. And you can go fuck her if you want to defend her, because I don't need nobody. I'm not defending her. It's weird as fuck. I mean,
I love
sure, she
people
stalks
who
you.
are
Why are you
just,
going
like-
overboard on me? I just don't want you to get in trouble, and I don't want you super
Who
worked
think
up
the
over that. Like,
standard of,
she's
like,
obviously
respecting
just
someone is
super
fucking
salty
them,
or
like-
jealous of you or something. Anyway, it seems like at this point he's just
Like, we
trying
all-
to make her feel better. And she's
Bob the
like,
Drag
and
Queen
you
made a really
obviously
good
got
point where
something
it's
on
like,
your
we all
mind
know
with them
when
long
someone where it's
pauses.
like,
We're just gonna break up if I have to
he
fight for
doesn't
you.
have insurance, but he
What?
can drive
Babe,
my
I have
car.
no interest in
And
her.
it's like,
I don't know why the bitch stalks you.
oh, that's a flex.
Well, you low-key just defended her earlier, so are you sure about that? I didn't defend her. I just didn't think you needed to fight her. A lot of conversations seem to end with Dom being the voice of reason and yet giving up near the end of the conversation because Mackenzie will not see anything from any perspective that is not her own. Mackenzie is, in my opinion, about as agreeable as a fucking nuclear weapon. She starts messaging
gives
Dom on
very,
Instagram
like-
in the midst of a fight. If I fucking call you, you have 3
What's his
goddamn
name?
seconds to answer unless you're actually busy, which most of the time you're not.
The guy who was
He
with
continues
Cardi
to
B
go off
and
on
had
him.
kids
You are
with her,
literally
and he said,
an
like,
idiot.
"You're my
You're about
baby
to lose the
mama,
best thing that ever
I
happened to
won,"
you,
or
and you're never
whatever.
gonna
It's
find
like-
anything
it's like
better than
that
some other
attitude
cracked out bitch who
about
just likes taking dick in
relationships.
her ass. You have until the end of day to actually fucking fix this, and I'm not telling you how. And if you don't fix it, then I'm moving on with my life, and I don't need you to be happy. You have 5 seconds to say yes or no, or I'm blocking you and moving on. 5, 4. She's like sending separate messages. 5, 4. She loves her countdowns. 5, 4, 3, 2. Dom finally responds, let me type, damn. Mackenzie responds in all caps, I don't care. I'm so done with you. Type? Are you slow? Like, goddamn, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. So slow. It's going to be so hard
love
to
her
come back from
acting
this
in
one,
this.
especially
It's so
since you like to
great.
lie and fake apologize just to get your way. Literally a little boy. Like, I thought you were a man. Clearly not. Dom is clearly confused. Because, like, he doesn't know what's happening. He's like, because I didn't answer the phone? Like, I feel like you can't believe that I don't have any bad intentions. I fought for you so hard this past year. Are you for real? Like, I know you didn't type that in the 5 seconds I gave you. Like, that's what you say? Are you for real? N-word. You have 2 seconds to send that text. It better be good, slow-ass N-word. Like, holy fuck. Dom finally responds. Ugh. You're flustering the shit out of me. It's hard to read all your messages and then send mine within 5 seconds. Like, damn. I don't care at all. Like, you're crazy for thinking I have bad intentions. Mackenzie responds in an almost unintentionally ironic way. In caps. You literally suck and just bring me down. I don't know.
So she's blowing up just that he didn't answer his phone right away?
In 3 seconds, yeah. Like, she's blowing up for, honestly, like, nothing, ever. It could be anything. This is through Instagram DMs, so he wasn't responding through text in the way that she wanted. So then now she's come to Instagram DMs, and she's just, like, ranting. And usually, like, it takes a minute because they don't really give context to the fight, obviously, because they're texting each other. But then once you figure out what the fight is about, it's, like, absolutely over nothing. And so Dom is responding, I do everything for you. I ask for nothing. You bring me down. You don't let me chase any of my dreams. You always say that you come first. Mackenzie doesn't respond to any of the things that Dom is saying. She says, I'm going to give you till the end of the day to apologize and figure out what you did. If you don't actually make this up to me by the end of today and make it good and make me actually believe you, then we are done and I'm moving on with my life.
Bro,
Kenzie, it's not me.
I know he doesn't.
I'm sorry, but it's not me anymore. You're doing this. You're making us break up. Yes, I know I'm doing this because I have standards unlike you. Now, this is your last chance because I will move on. If you think you're going to be anything without me, you are a joke. I would answer now. Kenzie, I'm not afraid of any of that anymore. Like, I'm all or nothing. I love you, but I don't have to be with you if you're going to try to do this to me. Once again, she ignores him and writes back, or else you're going to get blocked and I'm going to start texting people. Kenzie, you can be with me or go. Is that your answer? So you're just not going to make this up to me by the end of the night? I don't even know what I'm making up. This is ridiculous. Is that what you're saying? I would answer. Is that what you're saying? You have until 6 o'clock or you're blocked and we're done forever. I will literally burn that fucking scrapbook. 0 fucks given. I love you, but I'm not doing this. This is crazy. I don't get it. Wow. Okay. We're done. Last chance. I've given you over 3 chances today. This is your last chance to make things right and make it up to me by 6. Answer now. 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 Dom is so genuinely confused by this. He asks her, did all my messages send? He's thinking maybe she's not getting his messages and that's why she's ignoring him and just freaking out unreasonably. Mackenzie confirms, yes or no, I don't give a fuck about your messages. Kenzie, I don't know what I'm making up. Probably don't mean shit anyway. I don't care because you're dumb as fuck. You have until 6. I'm not telling you how to fix anything. You're saying I talked bad to you? Is that what I'm making up? Yes or no? Okay, you have until 5 now. Kenzie, yeah, I'll make up whatever, but I don't think any of this is really necessary. Are you serious? Like, I know you didn't just say that. How fucking dumb can you be? This is a very small argument, and you're putting our relationship over it. I don't get it. She later quotes him and says, because he said something along the lines of, like, I don't think. She quotes, I don't think, and she says, yeah, this is not about what you think. You're literally dumb as fuck. I feel so bad. How the fuck are you not getting that it's more than that and more than this? You lie, ignore, gaslight, dry reply. I can keep going. So she like throws out these words, but I don't find evidence of any like gaslighting in the text messages and stuff. If anything, it's like miscommunication. I really don't. I would watch her reply. I might dry reply sometimes. 4. So it went from 6 to 5 to 4. She's like, you got to make it up to me by 4 p.m. now. If this isn't made up to me by 4 o'clock, we're done. This is my last text message. He's like, I don't gaslight. I don't do any of that. I never intentionally ignore you. 4:30. Dom responds, this can't be every week, babe. Indicating that this happens every week. And after reading all their text messages, it's like multiple times a week, actually. It's really bad. She responds, you're right. Next time you do this, we're done. No explanations. He's trying to get it through to her. Like, I feel like you don't feel I love you. What the fuck are you talking about? Look, Kenzie, this shouldn't end our relationship. All I'm saying is, like, I'll do whatever to make you happy, but I feel like you're being unreasonable today because of your stress over your toe and your nose and school. So, like, I don't know what happened. This is me saying this. Yeah. Like, I don't know what happened, but, like, these seem like non-problems. Your toe, your nose. Like, unless you broke your nose. Like, why is she freaking out on it? It's so weird. If this isn't made up correctly by 4 o'clock, I'm blocking you and we are done forever. Your attitude will change. Your attitude needs to change, babe. We're broken up until you decide what you're gonna do to fix this. If the timer hits 4 o'clock and nothing has happened, we are done. Your attitude needs to change and I'll change whatever. I know you didn't just say that. This is about you. You called me with a bad attitude first, babe. Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Because that could happen too.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
Mackenzie mass texts him. Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Do you want me to break up with you for good right now? Do you want me to break up with you for good
Please,
right now? Do you want me to break up with
bitch,
you for
please
good
do
right
it.
now? She sends that 4 times. I'm not repeating it for emphasis. She literally sends the exact same message 4 times. And he tells her, you're being childish. I'm not entertaining it. So we're done? Is that what you're saying? You're not going to make this up to me by 4 o'clock? We're just going to go through the cycle? If you do not answer the fucking question, you are blocked and I'm going to start texting new people. Like, I'm so serious. Clearly, you don't even want a girlfriend. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dom responds, why are you doing this? Like, I don't get it. I mean, we can make it 3. Like, this isn't love. If this is made up to me by 3 o'clock, if it's not, we're done. This isn't healthy. This isn't right. Like, we can make it so much better than this. You're right. We can make it so much better after you make it up to me at 3 o'clock and prove you're going to do better. Until then, we are broken up. I would watch what you say from this point on because one thing that I said wrong will result in instant blocking and I will literally start talking to new people. Dom doesn't respond for an hour before Mackenzie DMs him again. I'm going to take this as you're not making this up to me. Answer right now. Answer right now. Kenzie, if you want to be in my life, you will be. If you want to leave, I'm not stopping you. So you're not going to change your attitude and make it up to me? So you're not going to make it up to me? Yes or no? Kenzie, you have a bad attitude too. It's a yes or no question. It's a yes or no question. And this is about you, not me. Kenzie, no, this is about you and you're making it about me. You have a bad attitude, babe. You called me with a bad attitude first and I'm not doing this anymore. I love you, but I have to set boundaries for myself too. This is February 20th, 2022. 5 months later, Dom will be dead. Now, I'm not singling
weird, the
out
date
this
has
like
all
one
twos.
toxic fight that
Weird
happened
ass
months in
coincidence.
advance where Mackenzie is clearly suffocating Dom over and over again, not respecting his boundaries. But
Yeah.
I'm emphasizing that this happens multiple times a week. Like it even, okay, when you go to part 4 where we go through the text messages, it would be like a 5-day long video for me to recount in full every single fight that Mackenzie starts. To take Mackenzie to the grocery store. She says, I
Are we back? Just fucking stupid ass. Anyways. See if closing tabs. Let me check my connection. Yep.
want to go with you, but I want you to try without me telling you you have to try. You only try when it's too late, so now it's too late. He responds, when was I not trying? We've been doing this all day. I don't care. No, you have not. Why would I want to be around you after you just did all this bullshit all day? What have I done? I've only apologized over and over again all day while you called me names. You have 2 minutes to be at my house to take me to the grocery store. 60 seconds. 45 seconds. Okay, I'll be on the way in a sec. Then he DMs again, on the way. Then he DMs when he shows up at her house. Here. Even just 2 months before Dom and Davion are killed, they're in another fight through Instagram. And side note, by this point, Mackenzie is essentially living with Dom. She's 17, her parents have let her move in. But this fight, Dom tells her, Kenzie, I'm not gonna talk to you till you acknowledge what you did wrong. And Side note, I don't want anyone to be under the impression that I'm taking creative liberty in the tone of Dom's voice, because there is a video fight of them, and most people say that Dom was like a very chill speaker. He never is yelling, screaming. Kenzie is always yelling, screaming. So it's not that like I'm trying to phrase Dom's voice to be more passive. Like there's a literal fight where she is outside banging on his door, and this is how he talks. This is his cadence. He's always trying to diffuse. He's never flipping out. There's one part where he does raise his voice at Mackenzie, and Mackenzie intentionally records it, but it almost seems like the man is so frustrated. Like he's like, stop, like don't stop, don't talk, like you're like saying disrespectful shit, like stop.
If anything comes out your mouth that's gonna be disrespectful, instigating, or anything at all, like I'm whipping this car over, okay? And you are getting the fuck out immediately. I don't care where it is. Do not say anything that could piss me off, okay? You know what the fuck could piss me off. Just don't say a single fucking word.
But this fight, it appears that he does not want Kenzie at his house because she's being rude and mean to him, which is completely understandable and a healthy boundary to set.
Like,
but she argues that he's holding his house over her head, and she's not going to let him do that. Which, side note, she does not pay rent. This is not her house. She doesn't pay mortgage. She's not on the title of the deed. It's also not like he kicked her out of nowhere. She could literally just go home to her parents, where she should probably be living. Mackenzie escalates the fight. I'll come today and take all the shit I got right out of that house. So she's like, fine, I'm moving out for good. Kenzie, I'm not doing anything. Like, you have been being mean to me and have not stopped since this morning. All you have to do is apologize to me about how you're saying hurtful things. I'm done listening to this bullshit, and I'll talk to you when you're in a better state. And no, Kenzie, I'm not holding anything over your head. I don't want you here if you're acting like this. So you're saying that I'm not allowed to come to the place I sleep at every night? No, Kenzie, what? I told you that you can talk to me when you say sorry, and coming here is part of it.
Yeah,
so you're holding it over my head is what you're saying. If you can't apologize or realize what you did wrong, I don't want you around me.
Yeah.
What we're not going to do is hold the place that you say I could stay at whenever I want over my head. She starts a video chat. He does not pick up. Mackenzie goes off, to which Dom says, Kenzie, I just don't want you to come here and have problems. I'm doing the mature thing and avoiding petty conflict, and if you cared, you would have stopped too. Kenzie does not listen. He's trying to de-escalate. She says, we're not going to play this game. I'm not letting you hold a place that I live in over my head. You don't even care enough to be replying fast.
On the fucking...
No, Kenzie, I don't want you here because I don't want conflict, and you never said sorry either.
I'm not
going to apologize for doing nothing, and I want to come over to eat, not to talk to you. I'm just going to sit on the couch and ignore you, but there's you holding it over my head again. You can let me come over and eat, or you can bring me all the stuff that I brought over to your house, and we can be over. Approximately 3 minutes go by. Dom hasn't responded, so Mackenzie writes, not sure why you're being dry and not responding. Dom responds, I mean, you did call me the R word, called me a pig, said a lot of nasty things, and now you want to come eat my food without apologizing. Let me know if you're going to keep holding it over my head or not, because I will just get all the pots and pans and stuff I brought to your house right now. I'm not trying to hold it over your head. If you can't respect me, how do I expect you to respect my house? He says that there's still coffee on his door from her, which seems like he's saying like she threw coffee and there's coffee on the door. But she ignores that and says, like I said, I will come get everything that I brought over. And holes in my wall. The holes in your wall are not from me, so are you not letting me come?
What does holes in the wall mean? Punch?
Yeah, or like throwing things, I would imagine, yeah. And so Dom says, if you can't prove to me you're going to respect me and my home, or at least the very least apologize, I don't want you here. Like, if you want me to leave your things outside, I will. To which Kenzie says, you can put everything in a box then. If you're not going to let me come to the place that you said I could always come, then put everything that I brought in a box and I'm coming to get it. If you're not going to let me stay at this house, then we are done. I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody that likes to lie and tell me things that are not true. You are making this so much worse.
How does she put it on him? Like, someone gave you a place to stay, now she...
Yeah.
Turn it around, make it...
Yeah, exactly.
It's
holding it over her head.
That's gaslighting.
Yeah. It's very manipulative. I think sometimes I do have the problem with a lot of these encounters between Kenzie and Dom being categorized as toxic, in the sense that I do think that if the roles were reversed, I don't know if we would be labeling these fights as toxic. I think we would be much more easily labeling them as completely abusive. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just really abusive.
Yeah,
there's not really a lighter way to put it.
This is abuse.
And so Dom responds, Kenzie, you are. Like, all that was needed was a simple apology. You're not making the right decisions or acting normal. So what's it going to be? So are you not gonna let me come to the place that you said I could always come? Is that what you're saying? You're treating me like shit. Stop. Asking you questions or treating you bad? What the actual fuck? Like, Dom is like, what the actual fuck? This is your last chance to let me come and eat, or you can put all my stuff in a bin and I'll come get it right now. I would answer right now. She starts a video chat that goes unanswered. She calls again and again and again and again and again, and then she DMs Dom. You just fucked up. Another video chat goes unanswered. You have 3 seconds to answer or I'm coming. Of course you would rather me starve. He keeps telling her she's being toxic, but she keeps calling, typing, I would answer right now. Dom seemingly begs her, quote, stop. You deadass have 20 seconds. This is why I'm not letting you come. You're threatening and shit. Another video chat, then another, then another. She calls 8 times back to back to back to back. He does not respond, and then she tells him, okay, I'm gonna come. He doesn't respond to more video chats. She says, I would answer right now. Like, I really don't want to end this relationship, but you are not a good person. You treat me like fucking shit. I need water and food, and you're not letting me eat. You are starving me. You would rather me starve. I'm so serious when I say answer. Kenzie, stop, please. I'll bring you food and water. So she's at her parents' house. Now, Mackenzie has somehow made this about starving.
What do you mean? Like, you're at home. You have cooking food and water. What are you saying?
Exactly. So he's like, I don't want to be around you because we're going to get into a fight.
Dramatic
but
as fuck.
I will bring you food and water because you're accusing me of starving you. Like, I will drive to your house.
She reminds me
even
of
though you
Olivia from the
don't deserve it and you haven't even apologized. I will bring you food and water. And then I just need some alone time because this situation's only going to escalate. So he's like willing to do all of this and still de-escalate. I mean, again, if the roles were reversed, this is like, frankly, a terrifying relationship dynamic that is just abusive. Dom offers to bring food, water. Kenzie just gets racist instead. She writes to him, you need to answer right now, N-word. I do not want to be here. So she's talking about she doesn't want to be home at her parents. What are you not getting? You know that. Which, side note, a lot of people have interpreted that perhaps there was some sort of abuse going on in Mackenzie's house. I really, going through the whole FOIA file, there's no way to definitively say that that's not what's happening, but I don't think so. She genuinely hates her parents for 0 reasons. Like, sometimes it'll be, my dad woke me up because he was playing the TV so loud. Is he fucking R-worded? Like, she'll literally be texting Dom that.
So where is the parents? How did she become this way? This is crazy.
Yeah. And again, like when she is saying in caps, I don't want to be here. I know that a lot of us, maybe from a point of empathy or trying to give people benefit of the doubt or trying to protect people who are 17, it's like, oh, maybe something's going on in the house and she's expressing herself in this really aggressive manner because she just frantically needs to leave. That does not appear to be the case. Like, she genuinely hates her parents because they eat McDonald's. She thinks they're slobs. She doesn't like the fact that her dad plays the TV too loud. He's so dense. Is he slow? Like, she's just, yeah. There's a whole birthday debacle we're gonna go into later. She is like so adamant that she wants to go to Florida for her birthday. I'm just going to give you a recap because it's so crazy. She's so adamant that she's going to go to Florida for her birthday. But there's a hurricane coming to Florida because it's Florida. And she's like, yeah, because I don't care. I'm just pissed off. She has her entire family and Dom scrambling to figure out where to go next to make Mackenzie happy. And she's like, you guys are going to fucking fix this vacay. And she's like, she's going off on them. And she's like, Dom, you're going to book me a ticket to Cali right now and fix my birthday vacay. And they're all just like trying to make her happy.
Also, as somebody who's like lived in Florida for years now, like
beats me. I mean, they're just straight enablers. They're like, so
I understand like Universal
as parents. If
Disney,
I was the president, if I ran this world,
there's some great natural.
I feel like they could even be criminally liable in my fake universe because, like, how do you raise someone like this?
Nature,
yeah, it should be a crime to be this bad of a parent. I think it's like worse. It's like similar to neglect. Like you are neglecting their capabilities of growing up to be a good contributing member of society. It's just so messed up. So then she's just responding like, what are you not getting? You know that. He responds, then stop being toxic. She does not think that these two things are connected. She writes in all caps, I do not want to be here, so you're going to starve me? Is that what you're saying? Stop being toxic and I'll let you come. He finally tells her, I'm done. So she goes off. Then please just break up with me then. If you're gonna sit here and let me beg you for food and water, then break up with me because any good man would never do this to his girlfriend. I would answer right now, you're making this so bad for yourself. Kenzie, now you're being toxic. I said I'd bring you food and water, but instead you're trying to make it about bringing all your other stuff. I do not want to be here. Why are you not getting that? You didn't let me apologize on the phone, and you didn't apologize sincerely to me. Dom was like, I just need 20 minutes. Just give me 20 minutes and stop being toxic, and we can talk again on the phone if you apologize and I can let you come over. But instead, you just spam me for the last 20 minutes being toxic as fuck. She says, if you're not gonna let me come over here, then I'm going to bring all the stuff that I brought home. It's our house. You always say that. I'm not letting you hold it over my head when I put in the work to the house too. I'm allowed to go over there and eat when all the food that I like is over there. You're holding this over my head. You're still being toxic. I would literally let you come over right now if you would just stop saying all this toxic shit and just leave it alone for a second and let me brush my teeth and then just call you back and apologize. It's all you had to do. You still have to apologize also. I'm not being toxic. I'm telling you what you're doing. Why would I keep bringing pots and pans and stuff for your house over if you're gonna hold it over my head and not let me there? Stop. It just doesn't make sense. You expect all this good when you treat me like shit. You're still doing it. You won't stop. Like, what the fuck? And you're still not apologizing.
For what?
Dom seems frustrated. He just
For
tells
what,
her,
bitch?
let me just bring you food.
No.
I do not want to be here. Can you not read? And if you still want me to bring other shit, I'll bring it later. Like, she responds, why are you not understanding that I do not want to be here? Then stop being toxic and arguing with me. I'm gonna come over or this relationship is going to be over. I'm not letting you do this to me. Just let me cool down.
Like,
just let it
people
cool
who
down
think
for
they
10
can just,
minutes
like,
and then
bitch you
apologize.
out and then
You're not
get
gonna
what they
hold
fucking want,
over a
like-
house that we built together over my head.
What?
Yeah, she's acting like she's fucking Martha stewarding this house. Like, she's done nothing. She also, like, she never cleans. She lives like a slob. Everyone has not testified, but they have spoken up about how she's a slob. Dom tells her, like, I'm asking for the bare minimum. Mackenzie responds, and I'm asking for literally 1 peach and water, but you can't even let me come eat. Dom responds in all caps, stop.
Bitch, you were not
Why is this making you
entitled to
so
this
mad?
shit.
I can't ask for food now? So now she's acting like he's like this a threatening, abusive person who's like controlling what she eats.
Yeah.
I'm about to be done texting you. I told you so many times I will bring you a peach and water. And if you really want, I can bring the rest of the stuff later. But instead, you're trying to say I'm holding my house and food over your head when I'm really not. You just can't respect me and can't stop arguing and being toxic. That's why I'm not letting you over. This is when she finally apologizes a little bit. Not really. She says, obviously, I'm sorry for calling you names. My life was literally going to shit, and so many
Obviously.
things were happening,
Like,
which obviously you don't care about. I didn't
what a
mean anything that I
believable
called you
apology.
because you didn't mean what you said. I'm not being toxic, and I'm respecting you. I've done nothing disrespectful except ask you for food. You're still not understanding that I do not want to be here, and you're still offering to bring me food somewhere where I don't want it, when I could literally come there and eat. Why are you doing this? You are treating me like fucking shit right now. If this old pattern is going to keep happening, then I don't know if I can do this anymore. Dom tries to set boundaries, which, like, that was not even an apology, by the way. Okay, Dom
No.
tries to set boundaries for the trillionth time. You are being toxic by forcing me to do things. I wasn't forcing you to do anything. You could have just let me come over and all of this would have been chill. Like, I need food and water so bad you don't even care. Dom responds with what Mackenzie was forcing him to do. He says, you're not letting me get off the phone, not apologizing when I said that all you had to do to come over was just apologize or leave me alone for a little bit to cool down. But instead, you said you can't apologize, and then you said that I have to bring you all your things when I said that I could bring you a peach and water. But I was only saying that because you were going to apologize. See, you're making it a loop because every single time I was telling you to apologize, you were saying no. And then I was saying, well, let me bring you food and water and a peach. And then you were saying, oh, I'm holding the house over your head. I'm holding food over your head. When all I wanted was an apology so that, you know, for you to just come from you to keep saying, but then you keep saying, I don't care, that you just need food and water, but I've been trying to bring it to you this whole time and you just keep arguing with me. See how you're still being toxic?
It's fine though.
So he's like finally like letting it out, okay? He's like, we're just going in a loop. And I think that's why the message is so confusing, because he's like, I'm living in a loop. I don't even know what's going on. Like, this is what you're forcing me to
People
do.
like this, it's
And
just,
after
there's
all
no
of that,
resolution
because he's
ever.
like, all I wanted was an apology. Like, that's the crux of his feeling. He's like, I just want you to apologize for being toxic, which is completely reasonable. Mackenzie responds, did you not read my apology? Like, what the fuck? Like, why are you acting like I didn't apologize when I literally just said? She sends a screenshot of her half-assed apology just 2 seconds ago and then sends it to him. You could have just read that and understood, but I guess not. Dom is so confused. He says, you didn't read anything I said. You apologized for calling me names and then continue to be toxic.
Yeah, you just went right
So you're
back
not
to it.
gonna let me come over now when I literally apologized? Dom clearly doesn't feel hurt.
No,
And
that's
his
not
boundaries
why
are
we
still being crossed. He
apologize.
writes,
We
quote,
don't-
you apologize and are still toxic. She flips out. Like, what is going on? Why
Like, I've
aren't you
talked
letting
to
me come and
grown-ass
eat?
adults who think
She
are
keeps
like,
doing this
I
until
said sorry
finally he
about this
texts her.
thing.
Fine, Camille.
And now they're like mad
Are
at
you
me that
sure?
I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah, just
like,
don't be
that's so
toxic.
crazy.
I was never holding
apologize.
anything over your head. I said I'd bring you food and
Yeah,
water.
it
I said
shows
leave me
that
alone
your
for a
apology
second,
doesn't mean
apologize,
shit.
and you could come over too, but you didn't leave me alone. I
Like-
do appreciate the apology you did make, though. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's about understanding and growth. This is what Dom says, and this is
Very
from
mature.
May 23rd, 2022, just 2 months before Dom is killed. Since Davion is no longer 18 years old, his parents felt that he was ready to be taken off their Life 360 app, which is the app like your parents can track the kids' locations, whether or not they're speeding or they're driving or if they're in the car right now or if they're walking. But instead of just getting rid of the app altogether, Davion instead connects it to his friend group. So he has a tight, close-knit group of friends, and they all share each other's Life 360 apps.
Really? Wow.
I guess it's like, Find My Friends. You just want to make sure everybody's safe. You want to track everybody's locations, make sure that everybody is... I think the idea is very responsible. Now, July 31st, 2022, at 9:43 a.m., Davion's friends are on the Life 360 app, and they're confused because they see Davion's location is heading towards the Strongsville police station. But they're like, okay, well, maybe he's just heading in that general direction. It doesn't necessarily mean he's going to the police station, right? Within a few minutes, Davion's location shows that he is inside the Strongsville police station, or at least his phone is. And they're like, this is really odd. Like, why would Davion be at the police station at 10 in the morning? Like, this is so weird. They check his Life 360 history, and they notice there is this weird incident that happened at 5:30 a.m. At 5:30 a.m., they get an alert, and it shows Davion's phone location heading down Progress Drive. Progress Drive is technically officially called Progress Drive Business Park, because it's basically a commercial road. I don't even know if commercial is the right word. It's more so industrial. So you drive down Progress, and it's just a ton of these light industrial
Shipyards
warehouses.
and shit.
I feel like you've all seen those like
Not
business
shipyards,
parks
but, like,
where you've got the flex
for, like,
office spaces,
semi-trucks.
and then you've got the warehouses. You see lots of big trucks driving through that road. It's not massive Amazon level warehouses, but it's also not corporate in the sense of like, oh, this is our corporate location where we invite clients over. Like, you're gonna see a lot of manufacturing companies, pipeline businesses, plumbing businesses have, locations down here, like ICI Metals, Rafter Equipment Corporation, Pipeline Development Company. Like, they all have buildings along Progress Drive. It's just warehouses and their parking lots. There's no residential homes, no shops that you can stop in and grab a coffee, no pedestrians. It's just an industrial road. Why would Davion be there at 5:35 in the morning? With an alert on Life 360 showing high speed alert, with the top speed at 90 miles per hour. And the Life 360 app shows that Davion's location is stopped for a point in time at one of the warehouse buildings, specifically the Pipeline Development Company. It almost looks like he's gone into the building with his phone. Why would Davion be in this random warehouse building at 5:35 a.m.? And now, a few hours later, he's just heading to the Strongsville police station. Davion's friends are really confused. They're trying to, like, in real time piece together what's going on, because they're like, what's happening? 6:15 a.m., a 911 call is made.
Southwest Dispatch.
Yes. Are you familiar where Progress coincides with Albion Road there in Strongsville? There's a car that's smashed up against the building. They ran the curb. I can see they smashed the sign and hit the building.
There's a car that's smashed up against the building. I didn't go up to it because I was on my motorcycle. I don't know if I'd get stuck, but they ran the curb. I can see they smashed the sign and hit the building. The car is trashed. That's the direct 911 call. When the first responding officer arrives at the end of Progress Drive, so this is kind of a dead-end zone. Progress Drive, you make a right turn from the main road of Pearl, and you make a right turn onto Progress, or at least that's what Mackenzie did. And it's like this half-mile drive. It's, some people call it like a straight shot, but it's not really. There are gentle curves along this road, and the road is pretty fucked up. I mean, it's an industrial road. First of all, it's actually one of the older roads in the city, but it's an industrial road, so you have lots of heavy trucks and machinery driving past it, so the concrete on the pavement is not very level. And I guess the city is thinking, well, we don't really have a lot of people driving through this. This is like an industrial area, and it's probably going to get messed up anyway, so they haven't really fixed it. So it's kind of a bumpy drive. It's not a drive where you can just kind of wing it. It's like you'd want to have good control over your car.
Yeah.
Now, at the very end of Progress Drive, there is like a dead end. So you keep driving down Progress, and then you're going to see grass, a sign, for the pipeline company, and then the red brick building.
Yeah.
When you get there on the road, you can make a right or a left. So it's a T intersection.
Oh, I see.
But you cannot keep going straight because that's where the red brick building is. But that is what Mackenzie's black Toyota has done. It has gone straight, essentially flying through the building sign, through the grass, and jamming the car straight into the corner of this warehouse building. The car looks obliterated. You can hear the officer, the first responding officer through the body cam, starting to freak out, and he's going straight into work. He is booking it to the car as quickly as he can. He's panting. And as he's running through the grass, you see that there's just massive chunks of this car and debris scattered all around. The car accident looks the car crash looks less like a car crash. I say accident because he doesn't know what's going on. So to him, like, he's responding to a car accident. It looks like a bomb went off. The car looks like it exploded. The only way to convey the extent of the car's state through words is it looks like the front passenger side of the car had been run through a hydraulic press. It's just like smashed, disintegrated. The officer radios in for backup. Radio, there's a car split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside.
This car's split in two. Radio, there's an occupant inside.
So he notices the driver first because naturally that's the first place you look for an occupant. Send us some squad now. We gotta bust the window out. Send us some more units. This is not a fresh accident either. She's been here for a while. He sees initially just one person in the car. Then he radios again. We got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God, times 3. Radio, 3 occupants, no one's conscious, no one's breathing, and they start freaking out.
Radio, we got at least 2 occupants in here. No one's moving. Oh my God, times 3, guys. Radio, 3 occupants. No one's conscious.
Not for her, clearly, but...
No one's breathing. Who can hear my voice?
There's banging, he's like screaming, who can hear my voice? Radio, we're gonna need full extraction, all 3. And he's saying like, holy shit, this is bad, guys. They're all pretty young. Now, upon first glance, the front passenger side where Dom was sitting has a lot of the impact. There's a video of the car, and the video is taken after the car is taken to a separate lot. And the front of the car, I was almost confused, like, am I being shown the wrong car? Like, are they gonna move to show me the black Toyota? Because the front of the car looks white. Because it's not like it's a half paint job. It's the front of the car had been disintegrated where all you can see is metal. That's it.
Yeah.
The officer doesn't have anything hard to smash open the windows. Like, multiple units arrive and they're just like they're even thinking like, do we use our gun? Like, we need to get in here.
Sarge, we're good to try to get her out? Oh, dude, I don't know if we can.
They can't get the window open. Eventually, they jam it open. And once they get into the car, they can quickly tell that 2 of them are not going to make it.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, they're all pretty young. We got 2 that are gone.
I have a 17-year-old female, Mackenzie.
Okay, that might be the driver.
I know that there is theories online that Davion was alive at the time of the unit's arrival. It seems like that is not accurate. By all accounts, Dom and Davion were confirmed DOA, dead on arrival, by the officers. First responding officer later says in a less panicked and more somber tone, like, we got 2 that are gone. Jesus Christ, like, this is probably the worst I've ever seen.
I know. Jesus Christ. This is the worst I've ever seen.
He's trying to explain to the new officers that are showing up, like, it's like a nightmare. I ran up. I go, this is bad. I ran up. I saw 1. I called her in. I looked in the back. There's 2. I called it in. And then you see 3, and you're like, Jesus, and no one's fucking moving. At some point, the officers find an ID and realize that the individual in the backseat is Davion. And I don't know how this officer knows. Maybe he has a kid the same age, or maybe he's just very involved in high school sports, but he says he's a fucking Strongsville football player. And so they mention that he's a running back, and the officer walks to the back seat of the car and taps on the metal and says, rest in peace, buddy.
Oh my God.
All right, this is going to be another issue with notifications. That kid lives in Kelsey Lane in Strongsville.
Yeah, he's a Strongsville football player.
Rest in peace, buddy.
The first responders, they arrive and they inform the other officers at the scene contacted the coroner. They're on their way out. And just to add to the chaos, there's wind and debris being thrown about because a life flight has landed to take the only person that has a pulse into this flying ER to the hospital. Now, the day after the crash, police are knocking on the door to the hospital room with the only survivor, and that is Mackenzie Sherilla. She has 3 broken ribs, a lacerated liver, kidney, damaged arteries, a broken femur above the knee. Her legs and arms are in casts. She has a neck brace on. She does objectively look messed up, but she's alive. She's the only one from the car that is alive. And by this point, her parents have told her, they say that they told her that her boyfriend Dom and Davion had been killed. Mackenzie's parents say that after getting out of surgery in the middle of the night, Mackenzie asked, "Where's Dom?" They didn't really think that there was a way to calm her down, so they tell her, and she's just screaming, "It's not him, it's not him." Then she asks about Davion, and they say that she learns that he didn't make it, and she was just sobbing, "Oh God, oh God." But the officers aren't really interested in any of that. They want to know what the hell happened in that car, because it doesn't make any sense. They were able to pull CCTV camera footage from a nearby warehouse that shows the black Toyota that Mackenzie is driving. There's sound to the CCTV, and it sounds like a missile, and you hear the crash. I will say that there are TikToks going around that they enhance the audio, and you can hear one of the boys screaming, "Mackenzie, no." That does not appear to be true at all. It would have been in the police reports. It would have been talked about during the trial. But you can hear the car, and it's going fast, and you hear it crash. It sounds bad. There is no feasible reason that the officers can think of what would cause Mackenzie to drive in this manner. Like, this is not a road that is easy to speed on. It's an industrial road with a speed limit of 35 miles per hour. Not saying that you can't speed over the speed limit, but it's like a pretty bumpy road. So one of the officers actually got into his cruiser, and he went around 55 in his cruiser. And he said, like, the wheel was shaking because, like I said, the road, the concrete is kind of messed up. It's an industrial road. So he's like, to be able to maneuver, because it's not like they were going all over the place. It's like a straight shot missile. It's not like she's, driving and swerving and hitting things and hitting the curb and then slamming into the building. It's like, it almost looks like you'd have to be pretty in control of the vehicle, which also they think that means if someone blacked out or passed out or were so drunk, this is not a road that you can maneuver before straight shotting it into the building. They're like, if she was drunk on progress, she would have hit something else first. And they pull another version of CCTV camera. So remember, Pearl is the main road of Strongsville. Progress, you turn right. So you're on Pearl, then you make a right onto Progress. They pull CCTV camera from that road. And Mackenzie, when she does that right turn, her blinker's on, she slows down, and she has a controlled right turn. And then within the span of like half a mile, suddenly she loses control of the car, and then speed shots it almost 100 miles per hour straight into the building. So like nothing makes sense. I think initially when the police got there, they're thinking, okay, young kids, we found shrooms on Mackenzie. They found a quartz Ziploc bag of shrooms on Mackenzie's person, along with a digital scale. So they're thinking maybe this is impaired driving. But when they get all the CCTV camera, they're like, that doesn't make sense. How are you driving completely normally and completely safe, and then all of a sudden you cannot drive? With the argument essentially being, okay, so if Mackenzie is impaired, she's somehow managing to drive with the skill of like an F1 driver straight into a building. So the police believe that rules out the fact that she could be impaired. Though they do a toxicology report or test just to make sure. More on that in a second, but later, Mackenzie and her parents, as well as her defense attorney, will argue that Mackenzie was impaired, just not by drugs, not by anything that's going to show up in the toxicology. They argue that Mackenzie was diagnosed with POTS, which can cause someone to faint. I will note that not everyone diagnosed with POTS faints. It's actually, like, this is a very misrepresented diagnosis. In fact, that's a point of frustration with a lot of people who are diagnosed with POTS, is that everyone assumes that they pass out when it's not even part of the diagnostic criteria. Diagnostic criteria typically rest entirely on heart rate response, not fainting. Fainting, however, is a possible symptom, but not everyone with POTS faints. In fact, it's considered kind of like a rare event. It's been described as a disorder where it just feels like you're going to faint and you might faint. It is, life altering, but it's not like, oh, everyone with POTS is fainting all the time and like they shouldn't be behind the wheel. Like, it's not this like, oh my gosh, so scary, you're gonna die, and like everyone, you can't be behind a car. The hallmark for POTS is more so a heart rate increase of at least 30 beats per minute in adults within the first 10 minutes of standing up or a head up tilt. It's very much based on standing up. That's like a huge thing with POTS. It's okay. So a lot of it is centered around when someone without POTS, I guess like if you and I were not diagnosed with POTS, we stand up. Gravity pulls 10 to 15% of blood into the stomach and the legs. The body will compensate by tightening the blood vessels and modestly adjusting the heart rate. For people with POTS, the blood vessels will not tighten. So blood, pools below the heart, and in an attempt to overcorrect, because the body doesn't really, they're like, whoa, what's going on? Then the body will flood their system with norepinephrine and epinephrine. So the heart is just getting epinephrine and norepinephrine and doesn't really know why. So naturally it causes the heart rate to shoot up abnormally. So, that's like, they might get lightheaded, dizziness, more so than just like, oh, I'm a little dizzy, right? POTS is a life-altering diagnosis, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, this is not serious, but it's not considered life-threatening. There are no deaths attributed directly to POTS. I think that's a huge thing that people in the POTS community feel like the stigma is a lot, especially with driving. And I was actually on the POTS subreddit, and they really hate Mackenzie, it seems, because a lot of them... Most of them have been diagnosed with POTS for decades. A lot of them say they've never fainted. And it was like very annoying, because when people find out they have POTS, it's always like, how can you dare drive? Like, there's so many misconceptions about POTS, and it's just they feel it's not true. So that's not to say that people with POTS don't faint. They absolutely can and do, and it can be life-altering when they faint, because typically the biggest practical danger of POTS is injury from fainting. So like you faint, you fall, and you hit your head. Now, it does appear that the general public does just think it's a fainting disease, which doesn't seem to be the case at all. But it's also a condition where you could have been diagnosed, gone years without fainting, and then you suddenly faint. It is entirely possible. Does that mean that that's what happened in this case? Most people don't think so, for a lot of reasons that we're going to dive deeper in a separate episode, but I'm just going to give you a little bit right now. So interestingly enough, a lot of people with POTS thinks that this whole thing is ridiculous, okay? Even the way that Mackenzie's mom talks about POTS in court later during Mackenzie's trial, she calls POTS a blood pressure condition, which inherently is not true. So when your blood pressure drops, that's when people faint. Fainting can be a symptom for some people with POTS, but the condition itself is not a blood pressure condition. It's like more a heart rate condition. So it's just like, people are like, how can you say that your daughter is diagnosed with POTS and that's what caused this fatal crash, but you sound so uneducated about POTS? Like, if this was truly a condition that was life-altering enough for Mackenzie to get diagnosed with it, and then later, according to them, get into a fatal car accident, killing 2 people in the car because of POTS, you would think her mother would know a bit about POTS. But she calls it a blood pressure condition in court, which is inherently not true. Blood pressure, again, plays a role, but it's not a blood pressure condition. If you go on the POTS subreddit, you'll actually see a lot of people who argue that had this been a POTS-related episode, it's more likely that her body would go limp rather than floor the pedal all the way straight into the wall. So they're saying, like, when you faint, it's more likely with POTS that your body goes limp.
I see.
One person literally comments, she's so fucking stupid. If this were a POTS episode, the exact opposite would happen. There are also speculations that her diagnosis could have come from the fact that she was engaged in super heavy drug use, and she does appear to be low on the BMI scale. So feeling lightheaded upon standing is not always POTS. It could be because you're malnourished or your BMI is too low. It could be heavy drug usage. It could be low iron. It could be lots of things. But again, like with POTS diagnosis, that's why a lot of people, again, are in the community upset. There's a lot of specific criteria. Usually the gold standard is a tilt test. They like strap you to this board and they put you in a direction which would simulate standing up. And they keep you there for like 10 minutes while they're watching your heart rate and all of these things. But she gets diagnosed in 2017 because she apparently like fainted in the kitchen. Her mom takes her to the Cleveland Clinic and she's prescribed salt tabs and is diagnosed with POTS. And then it just seems like nothing ever happens. Like, they don't get follow-ups. They don't do further diagnostic testing, at least that it's not revealed in court. I don't have her medical records, but I would assume that the defense would have used it. In fact, I also think it's weird that the defense, if they really were trying to argue this whole POTS thing, why don't you just strap her up to the tilt test board? Why don't you, like, definitively prove? Because Natalie Shirilla didn't even know the diagnosing physician. She's like, I don't even know what doctor it was. Like, there was no upkeep in this POTS diagnosis. There was nothing. And then also it's the fact that people were saying, okay, so she fainted once in the kitchen, and this is not to comment on people's weights, but she does seem probably very low on the BMI scale to the point where some doctors may be alarmed. That could cause lightheadedness, that could cause fainting. She is engaging in heavy drug use. It could be a wide variety of reasons. And her mom gets her diagnosed with POTS, right? So it's just like... And if that were all true, if this is the case, Mackenzie faints in the kitchen, her mom gets her diagnosed with POTS, and her mom still let her have a car while smoking weed with POTS that would be a huge problem. Not because people with POTS cannot drive, because they absolutely can, and just as safely as any other law-abiding citizen without POTS. But Mackenzie is 17. Her mom says she's fainting in the kitchen. Her parents know she partakes in an ungodly amount of smoking weed. And she's trying to like make the plant go extinct. Like, that's how much she's trying to smoke weed. And she likes to drive while high on weed. I would imagine like that's a huge problem if you're letting your daughter do that. And another thing is, if the gibberish speak, the carny speak in the hospital room is to be believed, the fact that she was speaking in what her dad, describes to be carny, allegedly saying, can we just tell them that I had a seizure? Seizures and POTS are not even the same thing. Like, these are entirely different things. Seizures and fainting due to POTS are not the same. We can't just fucking make pasta and see what sticks to the wall. A lot of comments on the POTS subreddit are along the lines of like, genuinely made me so mad. I feel like her claims are just adding to the misconceptions about POTS. How in the world would a POTS episode make you push harder on the gas? Such absolutely bullshit, and I'm glad she's in jail. Another one reads, amazing how fainting and losing consciousness can perfectly keep the car steered and accelerated. For sure. Another says, my jaw hit the floor when she said it was a medical event due to POTS. Only people with POTS would know that's not how it works. People have also noted that during the trial, during high-stress situations with likely dehydration and other things playing into the mix, she never asked for a break because she felt like she was fainting, which is reasonable and expected for someone with POTS. So because like your heart rate goes up when you're stressed and high cortisol, and she's sitting in the courtroom on trial, she's probably not drinking a ton of water, dehydration, and she never asked like the judge for a moment because feels like faint and lightheaded. There's lots of moments where she's standing, sitting, judge walks in, she stands. Like, there's not, like, suddenly nothing matters. You only had POTS in that, like, 2 minutes in the car. They also argue that medical records after she's life-flighted don't match someone with POTS, that after being pulled out of that car with all the other factors, her blood pressure was qualitatively described as elevated when she's pulled from the crash. Now, I will say, they are pulled from the crash way later from the actual accident, but some people have argued like POTS would cause, if you fainted, it would be low blood pressure, not high blood pressure, but she had elevated blood pressure. She also had a normal heart rate and ECG showing normal electrical heart function, which probably wouldn't happen, they think, in a POTS episode within like even an hour. Like, POTS episode, all of that physical trauma, and then your heart rate is normal. Like, they just don't think that makes sense. And also, when they extract her from the car, it's like a posterior condition, so she's being moved. So that would mean if she does have POTS, her heart rate should go up because she's going from sitting to probably at least some form of like she's moving. Now, it's interesting to note that her defense did not bring an expert to testify about Mackenzie's POTS and how she could have fainted while operating the vehicle. Some people believe it was a genuine accident, and people who believe it was not have mixed reasonings as to why the defense did not bring in an expert during the trial. We're going to get into it in a second. I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself, but we're going to cover it thoroughly later. So the first theory that police had was that Mackenzie was high and impaired while driving, but it just doesn't make sense with all the CCTV footage they're getting.
Like,
Very
oh,
early
she had
on,
POTS,
Mackenzie's mom
then why
is
was she
saying
driving?
things like, oh, she has POTS, like in the hospital. So she's like, oh, maybe it was the POTS, right? And the police are like, well, that doesn't seem to be the case either. Like, we don't really think that's what happened either. So the police get the black box data from the vehicle, and according to the reports, it reads, the Toyota averaged approximately 80.51 miles per hour in the final second leading up to the collision as it traveled off the roadway. So it struck the commercial sign and then the eastern side of the building. The black box shows that 5 seconds before impact, the Toyota was 100% acceleration, meaning the gas pedal was pressed all the way down. You could not press on the gas further, fully depressed. You cannot press down further. Like, this is very pertinent. And at no point in the 5 seconds was the brake pedal ever pressed. This is the single most consequential data point in this case. Yeah. I will say there is a change in the engine throttle before impact. That is argued that the car was airborne. So when it hit the curb, I'm not saying it like flew, but it was off the ground, and that will naturally impact the throttle engine readings. But the brake was never pressed. Within the final seconds, there is a small right turn of the steering wheel, then a small left turn, and then a significant right turn of 142 degrees of the steering wheel. 1 second before the crash, the gear shift, is moved to neutral and then moved back to drive. Now, this is done manually. This does not slip on its own. There's nothing in the black box that would show that the car would initiate or engage some sort of protection mode or safety feature where it would go to neutral then back to drive. So like something is happening with the gear shift physically, manually in the car. The car was also found to not have any malfunctions or mechanical errors that could have caused this. Now, I say this with a lot of cases. If anyone truly believes that in a case, a car malfunction is the cause of death or deaths, I think a wrongful death suit demanding tens of millions of dollars will be knocking on the car manufacturer's door. Like, that is my opinion, obviously, but I think that is a strong thing. So the black box data shows there's no malfunctioning of the vehicle. I will note there have been conversations online about whether or not Toyota had acceleration issues in the past. So some people are like, oh yeah, Toyota had this thing where it would just freaking accelerate even if when you didn't want it to. Which makes it sound like Toyotas would just go 100 miles per hour out of the blue, leaving the driver and occupants trapped in a deadly rocket. That's okay. This was a whole thing back in 2009. Formal investigations were held into Toyota's what they called the acceleration problem. The Department of Transportation, so there were multiple calls coming in saying like, oh, the Toyota won't brake. Like, I don't know what to do. I'm stepping on the brake, but it's accelerating. Like, help me. Like, people are freaking out. The Department of Transportation actually found that the acceleration from Toyotas, the unintentional accelerations from Toyotas, was mainly from floor mats getting stuck onto the gas pedal. Yeah. And more often than not, drivers who inadvertently press the gas pedal thinking they were pressing the brakes and then panicking, but a lot of it was user error. Toyota did a massive recall because they thought the financial loss was better than fighting public opinion. There's a whole revisionist history episode on it that I would probably recommend. NASA engineers also helped investigate, and the findings were NASA found no evidence that a malfunction in electronics caused large unintended accelerations. But this entire piece of Toyota history does not go without its own complications. Lots of people have their own opinions about what happened in the past. There were fatalities connected to what has been dubbed like the unintended acceleration crisis, but there are also conspiracies. A lot of people believe that this was propaganda by American car manufacturers to sow fear in foreign-made cars. Others believe that Toyota paid the fine, so they must have known something was messed up with the cars. I do think like there was like some allegation of like sticky gas pedals, but it's just I'm just giving you a summary of the mixed feelings that people have. I will note that while diving into these conversations, though, even on Reddit, Toyota has at least anecdotally ranked as a very well-trusted car brand. And the argument goes on and on about, is this real history? Because it seems like most people, they were like, oh, no, Toyota did something bad. And then everyone in the comments is like, actually, you're wrong. So this is actually what happened. And then the findings are here. But then some people are saying, well, there's this 200-page court document where Toyota paid a fine. And it's not a rabbit hole that I felt was pertinent enough to go down. But it's just, There's no way that that's what happened in Mackenzie's car, especially because, and the only reason I'm bringing this up is because her vehicle most likely had a brake override system, which is BOS. Toyota started installing these preemptively after 2009 because of this whole like unintended acceleration crisis. So essentially, if you feel like your car is accelerating unintendedly, let's say your gas pedal is stuck. If you hit the brakes, it'll neutral out the acceleration. It'll engage a safety feature.
Yeah.
So you'll just be idle because you're hitting both technically, right?
Oh, okay.
But I mean, that was never engaged because Mackenzie never hit the brake. But people are saying like, if this was one of those unintended accelerations, right, she would have hit the brake. And there's a safety feature that would have been triggered and it would have stopped the car. It's pertinent to the case because there is a picture of a fuzzy Prada slipper found stuck under the acceleration pedal in the crashed Toyota. A lot of people wonder, is this another unintended acceleration issue? Again, no, because the brakes were never hit. Toyotas have that safety feature that's been put in. And the prosecutor says, we got back the lab results and in his professional opinion, the expert stated, the slipper was stuck to the floorboard because of the impact. Like when the car was crushed. The floorboard had actually crumbled around the slipper, so it had no contribution to the crash. It was simply a result of the crash. But let's say you don't trust the prosecutor or his opinions. Still, the BOS system. Prada slipper gets stuck. If she hits the brakes, the BOS system would have been engaged and it would have stopped the car. So if it's not impaired driving, if it's not POTS, if it's not a car malfunction, if it's not an acceleration pedal that's stuck, what is it? And why did the car go to neutral, then go to drive? Why was the steering wheel yanked to the right? The prosecutor says it was chilling. If anybody was awake and alert inside that car, what a horrific last few seconds they endured. It is hard to comprehend that someone could just drive into a wall at that kind of speed. It is widely believed that Dom and Davion were trying to save their lives in the last few moments. And perhaps there was one of the boys had tried to put the car in neutral to slow it down. It gets put back into drive. Maybe they're trying to take over the steering wheel. Another thing to note is the two boys were not found with their seatbelts on. Lots of people have reported that they always wear seatbelts, so they think they took it off to try and stop the car. And interestingly enough, Mackenzie, who I've watched so many of her videos of her driving under the influence, she almost never wears a seatbelt. But the day of the crash, she's wearing a seatbelt.
She's the only one out of the three?
Yeah.
Look at that spread game, for real though. It's insane.
So with that being said, that is part 1 of the Mackenzie Shirilla case. Stay tuned for the next few parts because we think that this is just the surface. Let me know in the comments what are your thoughts and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.